Hey, Chase. Am I the only one?
Hey.
Oh, there we go. There's
No.
other. I'm an early bird.
We've got several people on. We're a little early though, so I'm just gonna fire.
Yeah, I got a 2:15 appointment my time, so I'm gonna have to just leave after a few minutes.
Gotcha.
Hey, Melissa.
Hey there. Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Good to see you.
Good. Good to be here.
Yeah, me too. All right. Well, I'm going to go mute and just listen in.
Okay.
All right. It looks like we're live on Facebook. Quick question about custom values Twilio number in link form. Can this be inserted into HTML and actually render? I've tried and it's not working. It should. Can you give me a little more context? Where are you trying to make that work? On a landing page. So I actually have that on my list to make a video for using those personalization codes in the landing page builder, the funnel builder. I was told that it works, but I haven't actually tested it yet. So has anybody else by chance watching used a custom value in funnel builder yet? And had it work? Probably not. So I think the use case, at least what I was thinking for the video, is like, especially on a thank you page, somebody goes through, signs up, books an appointment, and then the thank you page is like, thanks, Chase, for booking your appointment on Wednesday, January 20th at 10 p.m. We look forward to seeing you. So that's, one use case where I think it would be pretty cool. It definitely does not work. All right, well, I'll look into that because like I said, I need to make a video about it. So if it's not working, I'll go to the team and figure out why. Let's see. All right, we've got some more people hopping in. Melissa, did you have any questions? I know you got to jump soon.
Lots of questions, but I think one that popped up today was, is there any chance that it's going to be arriving soon where we can filter those tags? I've got a lot of opportunities for, we need this tag, but not that tag. And
yeah, so the smart list is right around the corner. So it's in beta right now and it's looking really good. Okay. I think it just needs like maybe one more approval from somebody on the QA team, and then it's going to roll into beta. Wonderful. And so just make sure you hop in the beta. But with the quick test that I did with it, it works really great. So
is there a beta list already going for that, or should I just wait at this point?
Not yet. Robin or Sean will announce it when the beta opens up.
Oh, got it. Okay.
But I was able to mess with it for a couple of minutes the other day, and it's really cool how it all works. So you can filter by all sorts of stuff, and you can do things that I've seen a lot of people asking where, like, let's say you create a, show me people that have this tag that don't have this or whatever. It spits out the list, and then you can click through the contacts one by one. So if you're like manually doing something.
Oh, and then being able to export only that list. Right now I have to export everybody and then do a sort and all that, which isn't the worst thing in the world. It's just be nice to export just that list when we do a lookup.
Yeah, and I think, don't quote me. So when it rolls out first, it'll have the ability to action off of a couple of things like bulk add tag, bulk remove tag.
Yeah, that's true.
Some other stuff. And then the first update will come more actionables. So like send an email to everybody in this filtered list right now, or send an SMS, or, that kind of stuff. So um,
Nice.
I can't remember if bulk export of a smart list is in the first release, but I think it is. So don't
Again,
quote me.
it's not the end of the world.
It will be in there for sure.
Oh, hi, Sean.
Hi, how are you?
I tried to leave you alone during your vacation.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you. That was good. My whole family got sick, so I was playing nurse for a week and a half.
So you are going to be able to export that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, half the reason the darn thing's taken so long is it's going to be a full replacement of the contact list we have now. So we're going to do we're basically trying to level everything up at the same time. One thing we will come out with though next week is before the smart list is we're going to move all the bulk actions to the back end. So deletes, uploads, all that stuff. The speed enhancements that we did have already accelerated and all of those actions, but they'll get better once we put them. Like today, I had to delete a list of 8,000 contacts for somebody, and it took forever. So we're going to move all that stuff to the back end. It's already in QA. So bulk tag, bulk delete, bulk upload, all that stuff, all to the back end. So it'll be much faster.
Great. Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, no sweat. Who else do we have on our call today? I'm going to look at gallery view. All right. Not bad. Not bad. 16 people.
Yeah, we got started a little early today, but we're past the hour, so we can get officially rolling. We don't have a topic for today, so it's just straight into Q&A.
Agenda, huh? All right. Well, Walter turned on his video.
Fire away.
He's serious now. Let's see.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Graham. First of all, thanks for the speed upgrade. It is awesome, and looking
We're
forward.
not done yet.
Yeah, cool.
We have 2 more phases to go actually on that. So stay tuned. It's going to get a lot faster.
Yeah, I'm loving it, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
My question is, one of my clients is fairly techie, and he built his own calendar, and he's good with APIs and stuff. I'm not. I don't even totally know if we can integrate his API into HighLevel, because what he wants to do is if they get a client outside of stuff that I do for them, they want it to go into HighLevel, and I don't know if an API is the answer or just Zapier or what.
Why don't you just put it on, have him throw it on a Google Calendar and use the Google Calendar as the man in the middle?
I think that is what we're going to do for the calendar. That was the easiest solution. And then and I apologize, I'm kind of new to all this and stuff and everything, but if they get their own client from their own sources, however they do that, what is the easiest way to basically get that client into HighLevel?
The simplest, fastest way is just use the add update contact method off Zapier.
Off Zapier? Okay,
Yeah.
so use that.
But in reality, it's probably going to be add to campaign, because even if they get them from another source, they still want to put them on a campaign.
Yes, exactly. And
so I would use the add to campaign, because the add to campaign will both add the contact as well as add them to an actual campaign at the same time.
So Zapier add to campaign is the answer.
Yep, you got it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
Hey guys, what's up, Sean?
What's up, man?
Hey, would it be the same thing? So I've just had a couple of realtors approach me. I'm doing some other work for them, and now I've led them into this.
Yeah.
We're working with Boomtown. Have you guys?
Sure.
Is that?
I don't know what the heck Boomtown does, but
Marketing another.
Just to jump in really quick, I was a realtor for 13 years, and I use Boomtown extensively if you have any questions.
Okay, awesome. That's Graham saying that?
Yeah.
Can somebody tell me what they do?
It's a CRM for realtors, and
okay.
they do front-end marketing on Facebook and Google as well.
Okay, so basically they're like follow-up boss plus Facebook ads.
Yeah, it's that one, and there's another one called Commissions Inc. that are the best in the business, and they honestly are amazing CRMs. The problem is they're like $1,800 a month.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah.
What was the other one you said other than Boomtown, Graham?
Commissions Inc. Commissions Inc. I just retired from real estate. Actually, as a realtor for 13 years, but I just now my main clients are realtors as well. I do marketing for realtors and brokerages, and I'm trying out a couple other niches as well. But I set up Commissions Inc. for a couple different brokerages here in my city, and train them on how to use it and everything. So if you need any help, I can answer any questions.
Awesome. I appreciate that, Graham. I'll reach out to you.
Thanks.
So I don't see why we couldn't. Generally, you know, Boomtown would be after conversion. Like almost all CRMs are after conversion. So then the question, of course, is just how do you get stuff into Boomtown? And, you know, do they have a Zap? Do they, you know, do they have an API? You know, how can we get to them?
And just to comment on that, Dallas, and what I'm doing for one of my realtor clients now is I'm steering them away from those super expensive CRMs and steering them into using HighLevel. So my current or one of my realtor clients, they're using HighLevel as their CRM, and then they're just getting a generic IDX MLS data feed as their lead capture website, so people can search listings, you know, set up a safe search and all that stuff that HighLevel doesn't do on that end, and then it just zaps them over into HighLevel, and it works awesome.
That's great. I'll definitely reach out to you for us.
Oh, Graham, you should put a video out on that.
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody in the real estate niche would love that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, good idea. Cool.
Feel free to post that in the group.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, man.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, man. How's it
Hey.
going?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Yeah, I see a little color on the face. That's nice.
I know. There you go. That's what some sun will do.
Where did you go for vacation, by the way?
I went to Costa Rica.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun to get out of the country, and I always like seeing new places and seeing how other people live. And yeah, it was a good experience.
so I just had one question, and this could just be maybe I've spent too much time digging around that I'm missing the obvious solution.
Or we're
But
going to do it.
so I've set up a lot of tracking numbers for a lot of our clients. So when the call, sometimes including like, let's say realtors or whatever, they're sending out a mailer.
Yeah.
Number. But when that call is coming in, how do I set up a trigger where they're automatically then transported into some sort of texting campaign?
So that would be, well, the problem that we were going to run into there, and we're really close on fixing this, is you can't filter by number, which you need to be able to do. So right now you can do like, if they reply via phone, but the issue there, of course, right, is that you have 6 numbers on the account. Right. So we're about to release our call rail replacement. That will help on the tracking side. And then we just need to enhance the current trigger to allow you to filter by phone number. So then you can add it to a campaign.
That would be badass.
Because yeah, that was the only thing I was kind of stuck on, is that because some of our accounts, the leads are coming in directly from phone. So they're not filling out the form. And
I'm with you. So the programmer who is working on HIPAA compliance, he told me he'll be done with his work by tomorrow, but in reality, let's say it'll be done by the end of the month. He'll go right back to working on those triggers as soon as that's done.
Okay, cool, man. That was all. That was the only thing.
Yeah, no worries.
I was missing like an obvious solution there.
Hey, Sean.
Yes.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
You had fun.
I did. It was great. It was good to get away, good perspective. Although it made me more energized about what we're doing. I'm definitely pumped up.
Yay! Yeah.
I still have a little bit of a cold, but other than that, I'm pumped up.
Oh yeah, I do too, actually.
I know lots of people got sick, right?
Yeah, my kid got me sick. I didn't get sick in Costa Rica, but yeah.
And you know what I'll tell you? It's as lame to get sick. It's probably a little lamer actually when you're someplace else. I promise.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I'd much rather be sick at home than sick someplace else.
Yeah, for real. Well, hey, I heard you say that you're about to release the call rail stuff, and that's like super, super exciting. I'm really pumped. But like an estimate on the date on that, or?
Well, it keeps going back. So here's what's happening. So we already released it in beta, and we've got the call tracking group going. And
yeah, I'm in it.
Oh, good. Awesome. And so it's really, the thing that we have sort of looked at as what we want to, the one thing we kind of missed is we want to make sure that the current phone number screen goes away, and we basically replace the phone number screen with the call rail stuff, because right now you can't use existing phone numbers as part of a number pool. And so we just want to fix that one thing. So that was probably an extra week's worth of work. So I'm hopeful, like, I don't want to say next week but maybe the week after at the most. So by whatever that is, I don't know what that is, the end of January.
Cool. Okay, cool. So are you guys planning on taking away the current phone call screen?
The phone number screen. Yes. it's going to become whatever you see right now with some changes. We'll have some updates, but basically the idea of merging those two together. So that way we don't have to be like, oh, go to the phone number screen to do a one-off number, but go to the call rail, whatever, the call tracking screen to do, a number pool. We'll just combine them all together. So it's a one-stop shop for phone number management.
But I was talking about the phone call screen, like that's in the regular,
the dialer,
non-beta high level. No, like you just click on phone calls. Sorry, I'm not at my computer.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. We probably will replace that because the call tracking stuff should do this plus more. I'm looking at it right now because all you can do with the current screen is you can just see like the last 30 calls. You can play it. You can see who the name of the person is and the time and all that. That's all on the call tracking stuff. It's all there. Plus, there's a lot more because I think you could do by date range there, and you can see a lot more calls, and you can tag them and all kinds of things.
Okay, yeah. Well, I think I'm just asking because my main frustration with it, like right now, is that it says a call's been answered when it went to voicemail, and I can't see duration on that screen. I have to go into each one individually and look because, like, I know if the duration
which screen? The current phone call screen?
The new one.
Oh, okay. So it says if it's been answered, if it went to voicemail, it says answered?
Yes.
Okay.
And I was
shouldn't it say voicemail?
Well, yeah. So I was talking to the dev about that.
Yep.
And he said there wasn't a way for him to tell right now because technically the voicemail was coming in as answered.
It is. Yeah, I wonder if we have voicemail detection on those calls or not. But I'll follow up on that.
Yeah, because like I said, I can't see the call duration on the new screen unless I drill down into each one. And I know if it was a minute or less, it was probably voicemail. And they didn't answer. Why would you
be able to see duration even if regardless?
Is it on the screen now?
I don't know. I actually can't see that screen. Is it enabled? Is it enabled on your account?
Yeah, I have the beta, but I
I'll go check it out.
I don't remember seeing call duration on that main screen, and that so I was having to flip back and forth between the new one and the beta.
Fix that.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Thank you for letting me know. I didn't know about that issue at all, so I'll go follow up.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Thanks. Good to be back.
Hey, Sean, it's Sean. How's it going?
Yes, sir. How are you?
Pretty good. Glad you had a good trip. I'm getting ready to go to St. Martin pretty soon myself.
Ooh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, for sure. I can confirm also that the duration is not.
Yeah, I'm just gonna ping the developer on that. Okay, keep going.
So one of the main features that I need from this call rails thing is the ability to have not just a call pool, but when they call the number that you can be able to have it call more than one number. So,
the simultaneous ring stuff.
Yeah, or like being able to ring one number for 15 seconds and then ring the next number if nobody answered for 15 seconds.
I think somebody got 60 some votes for that. Was that you?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. So it would be awesome if we could get that.
So here's the thing. So our initial goal here, right, is to be able to go out and do the dynamic number insertion, right, and start do the source tracking and all that. But here's the thing: that developer will stay on that feature. Excuse me, sorry, for as long as it takes to get it perfect. So they're just going to say yes, I got that. And so we'll stay on that. So my goal right now is like, hey, let's take all the stuff we have. Because like right now, if I ask people like, are you guys doing call tracking? Are you doing dynamic number insertion on your clients' websites and all that stuff? A lot of people say no. In fact, a lot of people don't even know what it is, right? And it's such a huge miss for all of you who aren't doing it. Yep. So my goal is, hey, let's get version 1 out and then let's just keep trucking. So there'll be a dedicated developer on that one feature and that one feature only until we get through all of it. So we'll definitely go after that idea. In fact, I think that idea has a ton of votes. I mean, my bet is that'll be like the next thing up for that feature.
Yeah, it'd be huge because right now what I'm having to do is send them to Jensen, right? And that's the only tool that I have that can do that feature.
Mhm.
You know, there's other ones, call rails or whatever, but it would be huge.
Oh no, I mean that's the fun thing of what we're doing here, right? Like we're going to do what you want us to do in the order you want us to do it, and the fact that that has 68 votes, there's just no way that's not the top idea for calls.
Awesome.
We'll probably actually start another ideas list just for that feature, so we can organize them better or something. I need to look into how, and Robin actually is working on rolling out Fresh Desk for us, but they supposedly have something like that as well. It'd be nice to section off major features in the app, just to do a better job with organization on some of the ideas, so that way they don't, because the way we organize our teams is really more around features than, it's not like one developer works on one thing one day and then they go to another feature the other day. It's not how it works. You really want to keep a developer on one thing because their mind is really wrapped up in it, right? Because there's a lot going on. So then each major section of the app really needs its own ideas list because it does have its own resources.
Yeah, makes sense.
Looks like we got a couple questions in the chat here. So the one is, are you
We're adding multiple numbers per contact with the call rail? No, we are not. It is on the list though. It's not something we're opposed to doing at all, but it's
So the second part of the question, Michael, is when you create multiple Twilio numbers and then you add users, you can lock a number to a user. So when that user is using the system, it'll call out from the number that's assigned to them.
Okay, yeah. How do we using different tools? Oh yeah. Well, did you already answer that, Chase? Sorry.
Yeah. So now we're down to Mark's
Asking
question.
Facebook, but
Yeah, so you could do it either way, Mark. Some people just create 2 locations and then enable them to log into both. So in your agency level, when you go to user management, you can just add multiple locations to a user. So then they can toggle through just like you can toggle between accounts. Or if it makes more sense to keep them within the account and just have different pipelines, I see it done that way as well. So it's just sort of, what makes most sense for the way your business wants to work.
Cool. Hey guys.
Hi.
What's up, Walter?
Hey. Just so everybody knows, if you hit that participant button on the bottom, you can raise or lower your hand so the moderators will know who wants to talk next.
Oh, sweet.
Pretty cool feature like
You
mine.
mean you don't have to just make it a free for all?
No, you don't. Okay. First, I just want to say that Robin and Chase kind of kicked ass the last couple of weeks while you were gone.
That's for sure. Thank goodness for Robin and Chase.
Robin, especially last week or 2 weeks, he was like on here for like, I don't know, felt like a couple hours. He was just standing there for like ever, and I was like, wow.
Just standing everybody down. I mean,
Dude, just sit down for a while. But no, they did a great job. So I appreciate that it kept going while you were gone. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great to hear because trust me, I was in fear of that. So, but I knew I was in good hands too. So, not too afraid.
So I have 2 questions. One is about the new feature about validating contacts.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Email validation. Sure.
Right. So I've been doing that because I have a premium or whatever account on Mailgun, but it's cool that you can do it within the app now. But the question is, can you do like all of them on your account? Because I know you can go to each one and click on it.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess that's kind of a miss on our part, right? Like it'd be cool if you could just go in and actually just say, hey, validate everybody, which I probably should talk to that developer and ask if we could maybe add a bulk action. Oh, you know what? Maybe that's what we do. That's what we should do. Can we add a bulk action to validate email addresses for contacts in the back end? That should not be that hard. So I'll actually add that to the list because I think that's going to be something lots of people want to do.
Okay. Yeah, definitely.
It'll work great going forward, right? But all the people you already have in there, it's kind of like,
Right. The next one is, okay, so this is a kind of a weird thing. Maybe you can help me figure this out if it's possible. I have a client that's in Ireland, and they have very weird things with their phone numbers.
Okay.
I had to order 2 phone numbers. One was strictly for SMS, one was strictly for voice.
Okay.
Can I configure it so whenever I send an SMS, it uses one number, and whenever I use voice, it uses a different number?
Gosh, I sure wish Varun was here. I don't know. Can you PM Varun? And if you don't hear back by tomorrow morning, this week's kind of funny for India because it's this weird rolling holiday there. So different people in different regions take basically like one day off, but in reality, I think it's more like 2. So I think today's his day.
Okay, it's okay. We've been having this issue for a while. We've just kind of been using just one number. I think we're just using SMS for now, but we like to incorporate both. Because I
think there's a way to do it. I always thought there was, but I don't want to speak without him being present.
Yeah, it was a process just to get those numbers. So, and then I don't know if this is something that you can do now, but is there a way I can create like an SMS group so I can add a certain amount of people to a group, so I can just like type out a message and just send it to them? Or would I think
what we will have is so as part of there's a task in there, an idea in there that's highly voted. It's actually after we release I could talk about roadmap a little bit, but after we release all the reporting, the next one up is like better broadcasts. So if you're talking about like, hey, is there an easy way for me to like select 4 people and send out a broadcast to them? I think we'll have a much easier way to do that in the near future. But it's not going to keep them grouped.
Okay.
It's not like a true group chat.
Okay. Well, right now I think we can kind of do it with like a bulk request by.
Exactly. So that's exactly. So if that's what you're talking about, we're going to make a much easier way to do that.
Okay.
You'll do it you'll do it the way you want to do it, which is you just want to go to the contacts list, select the people you're interested in talking to, hit send text, a window pops up, you throw your stuff in there and it goes, right? Cool. That's what you're looking for.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it is a bulk request with just one less step to it.
Gotcha. Cool. Okay. That's it for me. Thank you guys.
Cool. Let's see. We got other questions down here. Josh Miller. My clients are asking to search for contacts using the address. Let me ask if so that's just about data that is inside inside our Elasticsearch cluster. Let me see if let's see. Okay, I'm gonna start. Say Josh Miller wants to know, can we search by address on the smart lists? And would that just be street address, I assume?
Yeah, just the street.
Okay, cool. I got that out. If you don't hear back by tomorrow, ping me. I'll get you an answer on that. What else you got? We got somebody else in there. Dallas, what's the latest on survey forms being integrated into SMS? The guy who's doing the HIPAA stuff is the person who's the author of that, and we'll probably put him back on it as soon as he's done. So I suspect I don't want to commit to anything. So let me get back to you on that, but that's kind of that's what my gut tells me. So, but I'll get back to you on a timeline.
Yeah, and part of that is we wanted to make sure that us collecting that info works with HIPAA and stuff. So that's why there was a delay on that front.
Next question is about folders.
Yeah, this is the whole idea of this idea has been out for a long time. It's just the idea of being able to like organize these things. And I mean, that's like the one thing there is I would say, look, let's get it. That idea has to be on the ideas list. How do we get more votes on it? Because I want to do that. Let's get it voted up. Because right now, more people want email broadcasts and call center scripts than want that, according to the votes. So it's hard we only know what you want us to do if you vote it up.
Okay, fair enough. Thanks.
Hey, Sean.
Yes, ma'am.
I have an idea.
Nice.
And I don't know if you guys have a pinned post in the group, maybe if you could pin the ideas board. I don't know if you have that.
No, but I'd love to do that. We can pin the ideas list.
I think
I
we
think
We're
that
gonna
would
add
be
it to our announcements at the top, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of people just don't know about it.
I
Okay,
agree.
that's cool. That's fair.
Nobody knows about it.
yeah we actually took it off. We had all the links up there, but we wanted to move all the support to Slack. Once we complete the migration to Freshdesk.
Yeah, we
we'll-
should talk. Did you talk about that last time, Robin?
I can't remember what I spoke about.
Okay.
It was a long call.
Well, that's what we're doing.
Yeah. So I guess just for everyone, we are slowly migrating away from Slack. Our support team is really having to track, Facebook, private messages, direct messages on Facebook, and then private messages in Slack, as well as keeping up with the high levelers chat, as well as emails and tickets and all that. And so we're really trying to consolidate everything into one platform. So what does that look like for you? Within the app, we will have a live chat. And so that you'll be able to talk directly with our support team and they'll be able to help you immediately or transition it to a ticket. And it also allows us to make sure that we are actually giving you the responses. Because what a lot of times is we're getting hit from so many different angles that, we might promise you something and then just because we're working on 15 other things, we lose track of it. It's not documented. And so we just want to streamline that whole process. So within the next couple of weeks, you'll start seeing a lot of those changes. On the immediate front, we've already replaced our help articles. And so you'll see that if I think the URL is still the same. So help.gohighlevel.com. And we've already moved over our ticketing system, but now we're going to start implementing the in-app chat, as well as we're going to move over things like the ideas board over to Freshdesk and some other things over time as well. So a lot of work that's happening on that front, but it's all in efforts to support you guys a lot better and make sure that we're providing you adequate support.
Cool. Thank you for updating. I think that's important just because I didn't think everybody knew that. Let's see.
Next question, roadmap, call rail, and smart list.
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, so let's talk about the roadmap. So our first quarter this month, our first quarter is about, yeah, so I'm gonna start talking in quarters because it's hard to pin down exact dates on when stuff goes live. But our goal for the end of the quarter is call rail replacement live. The smart list will go live, and then a bunch of reporting goes live. So we still have ads reporting that goes live. We still have Google My Business reporting that goes live, Google Analytics reporting, and we're even hoping to get agent reporting live as well. With the idea that the biggest, in my opinion, the biggest release that we've already started to roll out slowly, but we'll see more and more and more of, is all the white label agency services stuff. So, a thing I continually hear every single day from people is that their ability to retain their clients is really predicated on how many services or products they can sell. And so we're going to really push hard on the white label agency services. I'm a big believer in this. I think it's going to be an amazing way for every single one of our customers to increase the revenue per month that they're bringing in from their customer base, as well as to increase the stickiness that all of you have. Because I'll tell you, I get on phone calls all day long and it's really simple. I'll be like, how long do you keep your customers? And some people will say 6 months and some people will say 6 years. And the 6 month crowd, versus 6 year crowd, it's always the same delineating factor. It's one service versus full service. But it's impossible for everybody to be full service. It's impossible to hire and train and continue to scale up all the time. And so that's why we're going to bring out all the white label agency services. Now, of course, if you're full service, this also benefits you because if you're doing SEO or PPC or any of these other services, you're already using reporting. So reporting's huge. And of course, with our reporting, we're going to do something a little different. Instead of focusing on like clicks and conversions, we'll have all that data. But our goal is to track every click all the way back to the opportunity. So that way we can start doing true ROI for our clients and saying, hey, listen, this is real attribution all the way down to the client level and all the way down to the dollar amount versus, hey, I just got a bunch of people to fill out a form. So that's really our focus in Q1. I mean, HIPAA is part of that. Agency services is part of that. Yext is part of that. But that's really the place I want to see us at for the end of Q1, because I think that's going to have the biggest impact on everybody's bottom line in the shortest amount possible. Yeah, there you go. See? So anyhow, that's kind of my big belief. And I think it's a way to create a lot better retention for our customer, who is you, the agency. To me, that's the number one thing we need to do every day, is figure out how do we bring more money in the door for you, and how do we allow you to help you keep your clients longer. And I think once we get through Q1 and we've successfully started, I mean, it's not going to roll out overnight, and we're going to roll it out slowly because we want to do an awesome job. But once that's done, then we'll get back to, adding more software features like, social media management, posting, or, survey messenger and things like that I think are great. But if you don't, I think if we don't have it on the bedrock of multiple services that you can offer easily and quickly, I think we're really missing out on a huge value add for our customer base, and that you should be offering to your customers as well. Wow, that analytics. Any idea on the timeline for analytics? It is probably going to be, I'd say by the end of next month. Yeah, so any questions on HighLevel agency services? That was pretty, I always love it when it's silent after you talk, you really.
Pregnant pause.
Good job.
I have a question, guys. It's Graham.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so on that email validation note, what about phone validation with Validito?
Well, we won't use Validito, but we will use Twilio. That is already up on the ideas board, and it is actually very hot near the top, as I recall. It's got 113 votes. It's like 2 up from the bottom.
Okay, so that's when a lead is filling out a form and they put in their phone number, that's real-time validation through Twilio.
We won't do real time. I probably won't. I'm trying to think about this. I will probably not do it at the form level. So right now at the form level, here's what we do now. We use a phone number library from Google, and the Google phone number library does a really good job of validating a real phone number, i.e. something that should look very similar to a real number. I mean,
right.
You could probably put a fake number in there, but it's pretty close. But with Twilio, we'll take it to the next level, and it'll say, oh yeah, this is either a mobile number or it's not, right? So it can give us a lot more information.
Okay, is there any reason we couldn't use Validito?
I mean, what does Validito do that Twilio doesn't?
So in their demo on their website, it shows someone's typing in a phone number on a form, and then when they press submit, their API will do a real quick calculation. It'll validate it, and it'll say, sorry, please put in a real phone number.
Okay. So I'm on their website right now, and so I'm just trying to think through where do they lie on the spectrum of, yeah. So by the way, I bet you money Validito just actually uses Twilio on the back end, because it looks very similar. If I look, it's like national format. I mean, all of this is formatting, and then what they have is they told me my numbers with New Singular Wireless, but of course it's not, by the way.
If you're using Twilio, you can tell by their JSON.
Oh, yeah, there we go. So so Validito is just Twilio's API on the front end. So we'll just use the Twilio stuff. You want to run it. What you're trying to do is get it to run on the form, right?
Yeah.
Which, I mean, we could technically do it on the form. I'm just trying to think through, how good are those things? How fast will those API calls be every time? And I guess we could just make it part of the validation. We could run the validation on the form. It's not a bad thing to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah, because in our niche, the main issue that realtors have as a complaint to using our services to generate leads for them is that they get a lot of wrong phone numbers. And even those 2 companies that me and I think Darren were talking about earlier, they've got great marketing skills. They're great at Google. They're great at Facebook. But still, when I was using them, honestly 35% of the phone numbers were bad. And that's a huge number when you're paying, a realtor doesn't really care as much about the phone number as he does, or about the email as he does about the phone number. And so we're just trying to basically find a way
so verification, we could totally do that. And maybe that's how we implement it, because I mean, it doesn't matter to me when the validation occurs, it is pretty stiff pricing. It's maybe we can get a discount on it though. But yeah, so I think that's what we would do. And then, oh, I see. Yeah. And so I think that would be cool if to do it on the form level, just because, yeah, you're right. You could just completely keep people who have just terribly wrong phone numbers and from doing it that way. I don't think that's a bad idea, actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah, even if you increase, thank you. Even if you increase the number of good phone numbers by 10%, that would be huge. And I mean, for a realtor client, if they got a lead and someone put in whatever 604-1234567 once, and then they click submit, the email's valid, but then the phone number comes back as, sorry, do you mind putting in a real phone number? Chances are they're going to put in their real phone number. And
well, it's true. And honestly, like what's the use case of getting somebody with a bad phone number in, right?
It's almost useless to a realtor. I mean, people hardly ever respond to email marketing for realtors these days.
Well, I'm with you. So I guess, yeah, because I was just trying to think through, like, a lot of times with forums, you don't want to limit people, right? But if you put in a bad phone number, yeah, that's a very good point. It's like, well, what's the point of doing the capture of a bad number? I guess you could say, well, maybe they put in a good email, but I mean, if they're going to put in a good email, why wouldn't they put in a good phone, So, and if you're having trouble capturing phone numbers and you're finding people that want to fill them out, you might as well ditch that field altogether. So yeah, I like that idea. I added it to the idea, and I'll make sure it's part of it when we start working on it.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. That's kind of huge in our niche. That's like a big deal. So if that happens, that would be amazing, and will help us.
Well, I think that's probably good in every niche, right? Who wants a bad phone number?
Well, I think so. And anybody that bounces off of that form because they were asked to put in a valid phone number is probably not a quality lead anyway. So it might.
I think that, and that's what really swayed me on your idea here is exactly. Yeah. It's like, under what condition would you want one? Would you want one anyways? And I think the answer is you would never want somebody who is not willing to give a good phone number through a form.
Yeah.
So I like that idea.
Yeah, exactly. And just real quick, the last thing on that is that it's also a good idea because when it's fairly easy to generate these leads for realtors. Like, we've had months where we've gotten 1,000 leads in a month, but that means 1,000 phone calls. And it's not just 1,000 phone calls, it's 1,000 phone calls times however many calls it takes per lead to actually get in touch with that person. So it just gets overwhelming.
Yeah, it does get overwhelming, and getting a bunch of calls to a bunch of leads that are bad, that doesn't help, and that makes you look bad in the eyes of your client, right?
Exactly. No, we're on the same page.
I think that's a good point. Yeah.
Awesome, man. Thank you.
Yeah. I wonder if you can do this for every single.
Yeah. So what I currently do is when and I think it's like 4/10 of a penny, so it's super cheap.
Maybe I'd probably look in the wrong direction.
You can see if it's active or not. And so, no, you don't verify that it actually belongs to the person, but at least you know right away whether that's an active phone number or not, which is a little like one step ahead of Google's, like, is it look like a real number?
Yeah, I'm with you. It doesn't look good, but I was just looking through the documentation. But yeah, they definitely. I think it's something we'll definitely do. I mean, we will for sure do it, but I think it'll be a cool service. I think a lot of people will like it.
Next question, membership sites.
It's the number one idea on the ideas list for the funnel. I think it is. Oh shoot. I'm going to find it. I think it's funnel.go, HighLevel.com. That is, hold on, let me take a look here. Yes, membership area is the number one thing. So the current roadmap for the funnel builder is simple. We are working on a big speed enhancement that we're coming out with, and we're adding some stuff to basically bulletproof it a little bit more. Like, for example, we just did, I don't know if this is exposed in the interface or not, but we've started saving versions so that if you mess something up or something goes wrong, you can roll back in the versions. And so we're just trying to make sure that the funnel builder is just 100% across the board. And so that'll probably take another 2 weeks at least. And then we'll probably crack on into starting on the membership stuff. So I don't know. I've seen membership areas now. Technical complexity wise, I don't know how hard that will be or won't be. So I don't know from a timeline perspective, but I think once we get going, we'll have a better idea. If I had to guess, it'll probably be sometime in March that we deliver it.
Now, with that, Sean, will you be able to import them from ClickFunnels like you currently do, or will you have
that's a wonderful question. I don't think so. I don't know that we'll go that far there because I'm just trying to think through the differences. Is there a public URL for the membership area because how we work with the ClickFunnels stuff is we're able to, because there's a public URL, we can get to the contents, but we need some access there, right? So is there a public URL in the membership areas? So for some reason, I don't think so.
There's a secret sign-up URL. I don't know if that would work or not.
I need a URL where you can send it to me, and I can just boom, drop right. Like on a funnel, right? You can send me that link, and I can see your funnel, or I can see that page, right? Is there a link where you can say, "Oh, Sean, here's the membership area"?
But even so, that's just going to show you maybe the login screen or.
Yeah, it normally shows you the login screen.
Yeah, so there's no way for me to really get the content, right?
Right.
I don't know how hard membership areas will be to rebuild, so somebody will have to tell me.
Gotcha.
Hey,
Thanks.
Sean, when you say you guys are doing the revision history, that's beautiful. I'm really excited for that. Is that going to include if someone accidentally deletes their funnel? Because we've had a bunch of people ask us, "Hey, I deleted my funnel accidentally."
Like hit the delete button, or
yeah.
Okay. I do think we need a recovery mechanism there. That the revision history was more designed like, oops, I deleted an element or some elements kind of thing. So no, but I do think it would be cool to just add it should be, but it's super easy to add a flag or a checkbox or something that says show deleted funnels and then be able to undelete those. So, I don't think that that's an enhancement I think we could make. That's not that hard.
Yeah, like ClickFunnels does the archive, but you can't actually delete it. I like being able to actually delete it.
Well, we by the way, we don't actually delete anything in our whole database. We just mark it as deleted, just because we just know that this happens over and over and over again. Well, people will accidentally delete a user or whatever. So we'll, but we will, but I'll add that to the list right now of features to add.
You're awesome. Thanks.
Sean, do you want to talk about the website builder? Did I see
absolutely.
that the navigation is
Yeah. So the two small feature enhancements that we put on the board and will be out hopefully in the next couple of weeks is the ability to build full-on menus with the funnel builder, as well as universal elements. So you could create a footer and then modify the footer in one spot, and then it changes across all the pages. The intent there and the idea here is that long-term, we want all of you to be able to use the platform to also build websites for your clients. So once we have those two elements in place, what we're going to do is we're going to create vertical templates for websites, like we did the vertical templates for the snapshots. So that way you can one-click deploy and create really beautiful websites for your clients in different verticals. And of course, we'll have to go a little deeper here. I think we'll have to have 3 or 4 templates per vertical, so you have some variety. But the idea there is, in the long term, our pitch to all of you is going to be more services, more products, more things that you're doing for clients. And one of the big things there is to do the websites. I think that's going to be a huge product or service to offer. But the way we've seen it done across the board so far, you've got one end of the extreme where it's like WordPress and it's heavy and it's difficult and you have to be an expert and it tends to be really expensive. That didn't work for us. And then the other end of the spectrum, we saw sort of like the InstaSites concept, where like you plug and play a couple of variables, but in reality, you can't really modify or change the page. So we like the idea of using the funnel builder and basically leveling it up into a website builder. So you can actually build a full real website that's customizable. You can change the CSS, you can change the SEO, you can change the meta tags. So you get all of the benefits of a real website, but not have to go all the way to bringing in something heavy-handed like a WordPress to actually to create a really nice website for your client. And so our goal is to have that out in the first quarter as well as a new service you can offer to your clients. And on our side, we don't anticipate charging any money for that, but we'd love to see people start creating websites for their clients. And again, just getting another service, another product, something to keep you stickier with your clients, so that they keep you longer, even when they're done with, they decide they don't want lead generation anymore, or whatever their decision is that week. People to undelete funnels.
Sean, what about saving segments in funnels or sections?
So that's the idea of kind of the universal element. So you could say like, now, you're talking within the same funnel, right?
Yeah, I guess that makes a lot of sense, because yeah, if you create a footer in one funnel but for the same client, then you would use that footer in each of their funnels, or theoretically you could.
Exactly. So that is exactly so we'll start off, I guess it'll probably, if I had to guess, it'll probably work within the same funnel initially, but I don't see why you couldn't eventually copy it out to other funnels and other things like that. But yeah, the idea of having that universal element, I think, is going to be key when you're trying to create a website.
Nice.
Sean, I'm a new user. I have a question for you.
Hammer. I love it.
Thank you. So we have, let's say we have about 200 subscribers, right?
Okay.
And the way that we do things now, we actually use Infusionsoft. I'm sure you're familiar with it.
Of course.
And I'm on their product advisory committee because we've done some very unique things tying Infusionsoft in with ClickFunnels and custom code, making dynamic pages. It pulls from the database with Infusionsoft and then puts their information in, all kinds of weird shit. And
That's cool.
We have to put all this stuff together because what happens is we're trying to create a situation that we can do like what you're saying for multiple services. We already provide that. And
that's great. You're a full service agency.
Yes. And
how long do you keep your customers?
What's that?
How long do you keep your customers?
It's not a fair assessment, just to let you know, because most of my customers, I'm not doing cold funnel churning. So we would definitely have a lot more churn if I was doing a lot of advertising. I've built up a database. I haven't had to cold advertise in 5 years. So our retention rate's 94%. Our people stay. I mean, we're into I've been doing this. We've offered this particular service for over 2 years, and we have people that have been with us from day one, most of them. So
look at that. It's amazing. I already knew that answer.
And here's the key to that. Like, if I were to actually take the screen and show you our stuff, what we did is we took Thrive Themes and built a WordPress dashboard so that we can offer services like yours. Like, we use Grade.us for reputation. But if I show them a Grade.us dashboard, it would be like showing them HighLevel. They would run away screaming because they'd never actually go in and use it. So, and I'm not just talking out here, I'm going somewhere here. So what we've done is we've built a lot of stuff that we have a lot of forms that are in this WordPress dashboard. And we say, okay, you want to market, my niche, by the way, is US mortgage people. So I'm from that industry. I know that industry. So we say to them, okay, we've got a platform that'll allow you to market to real estate agents. So if you put their names into this form, then what happens, that goes into Infusionsoft, it's tagged and everything's all identified to that particular sub-user, to our user. And what I'm able to do is I'm able to blast out an email every Friday to 10,000 agents that comes from every individual originator, right? So do you guys have any kind of intention where we would be able to have 200 sub-accounts and I can create one email and, blast this thing out and it goes to everybody in all of those different pieces? If my user has got contacts that are tagged, weekly rate forecast, that I get to send this thing one time and it goes to everybody in everybody's account. Is there anything on the board, or does anyone else have a use for something like that?
Well, I'm sure somebody does. I mean, I think the way to roll there, is to just, our goal is to try to make the app more open, so that you can do things like that, right? So that's why we have custom CSS and custom JavaScript at the agency level right now. So on the front end, you can make those things kind of happen. I feel like this is almost like a really good use case for a dynamic or an in-depth API for you able to pull those things out, right? So, I mean, immediately tomorrow, the answer is no, but there's no reason why we don't, but we'd love to support that use case, right?
Right. Well,
especially
do you have
since
the
you're
API
kind of
ability
advanced.
now, if I were to pay somebody, that they could build something for me that would do that?
I think what we need to figure out is like, what would you need to do there, right? Like, so you'd need to grab every contact across all your locations with a tag, right? Is that true?
Yeah.
And then, so now I have everybody with this tag. And then what I want to do is I want to send all those people, basically I want to send all those people an email, right?
Right, with dynamic content inside the email that's got individual links, so that, you know, every time that the end contact clicks the link, it goes to that mortgage person's website and that mortgage person's whatever. I mean, that's what we've been able to build, you know, with duct tape and baling wire over the years.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see kind of what the dynamic stuff looks like. So we should probably take this offline. But
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see why not. Because
how would I circle up with you to have that conversation?
yeah, just ping me on Slack.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I'd love to see what the depth of the dynamic content looks like in the email. Because if we can think of because like for example, I know one person wants us to have it so that you can attach a file based on a URL, but that URL would be dynamic. And so we're already going to have that, but I wonder what the dynamic content looks like in your email, because I'd love to take a look at that. So yeah, definitely send me a message on Slack and let's get together.
Okay.
Yeah, Nerd Diva. I was sort of thinking the same thing. You could, you know, through Zapier, you could have every time a new contact comes into one account, put it in a Google Sheet, bring it into another master account. But that doesn't get you to that level of dynamic stuff. That sounds pretty cool.
It'd be cool if somebody could send me that, from iPhone, you could send me that membership site share link. I'd love to check it out. What else we got?
We are coming up on the hour, so if you're
Sweet.
sitting
Okay.
on a question, get it out there.
We're taking all comers. Let's see. Anything in the Slack channel?
Let me check the Facebook.
Just real quick, on the reviews, there's that green arrow to click, and that sends a text message, right?
Oh, you mean the check-in client?
Yeah, the check-in client.
It technically could send an email or a text, but yeah.
Oh, okay. I've just been firing off some of those this morning.
Cool.
One guy responded that he wanted to have an email sent. How do we send that email with the link for?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, that just seems like a one-off email I'd send the guy. Like, okay, dude, here you go. Just go into conversations. What I would do is I would just go into conversations. Is his email address in there?
Yeah.
Great. So then just go into conversations, hit the email tab, and just write him back. Okay, here's the link via email, which is the weirdest request in the world, by the way, because what's the difference?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I did send him the text too, so I think he'll probably just do that. But okay, cool.
Well, that's awesome. What else is everybody like? How is January for everybody so far? Any exciting news from anybody? How's business? How's customer growth? Is January a big time?
I did just launch my first DR for a client, and that was only yesterday, and we've got $4,800 on the books for him as of today. Yeah.
That's great, man.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
It must not have been real estate.
No.
Now, someone educate me. Like, is January a slow time in the marketing agency business, or just as normal as ever?
No, like for us, it's been crazy. Like everybody, I mean, we work with agencies and help them set up HighLevel, but like everyone's like, hey, we need help, like ASAP. We've onboarded all these new clients, and we need you to set up HighLevel. So for us, it's been pretty awesome, and I think it sounds like it's awesome for everyone else too.
That's good. Yeah, I just wondered because we haven't figured out the seasonality, or if there is seasonality here or not.
Well, are you getting more signups?
Yeah, every single day. I mean, we're on track for a record number of trials all time. And I might as well mention it while I'm here. I hope everybody knows about the 40% recurring affiliate commissions that we pay. And I hope you're all sending them out to everybody, because that's 100% how we grow. And that's a benefit to you in two ways. One, you get the commission check, which is nice, but two, we're taking all of our money and we're putting it right back into the product. So if you say, well, how long to build something, that length of time will go down if you can help add more people to the platform. So I sure appreciate it. And if you don't know where that link is, by the way, it's in your agency settings under affiliate settings. It's right there. So you can find it and it's easy to send out. So please be sure to share.
You know that I know where that link is, Sean.
Well, I know you do, but anybody else, there's 25 other people on this call that I want to reach, and anybody watching on Facebook too. So I think that's important.
For sure. Are you able to say like how many people you have on a trial right now?
Well, it depends. We're on track right now for 602 people by the end of this month.
Awesome.
So 600 new trials is insane. I just want to keep it coming. And I just want to, our goal is simple. It's like, how do we build up the team faster? How do we do more faster? How do we create more value faster? Bring it out to you, get all of the things done that you want us to get done. And for me, it's just about, how do I take the development team that's 20 strong today and how fast can I get them to 40 strong tomorrow? Because then we could just munch through even more, even faster.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, well, my goal too, like with my affiliates, is to make sure that they don't cancel, right? Because that makes you guys more money and it makes me more money.
Exactly.
And I'm seeing like a 50% right now. So I'm trying to increase it to like 75%.
Yeah, well, and I think the hurdle we find is, hey, look, how fast can we get you to $1, right? How fast can you sell a client the software, or how fast can you implement this with your existing clients? How fast can we get you to that value? And that's our goal, is to continue to find. This is what I love about services too. I mean, we see people at all kinds of different stages. We see people with 100 clients and we see people with 0 clients and everybody in between. And I feel like, especially for the people just getting started, the prospecting is always going to be hard. I think the sales is always going to be hard. But once you get that client, how do we maximize that value quickly? How do we get you from $0 to $2,000 a month, $4,000 a month versus, just selling them one service or one product? Or if you are selling one service and one product, how do we get you into a place? Because the agency owners that I talk to that are the most successful, their primary focus is sales. That's the 100% what they do day in and day out. They don't do implementation. They don't do delivery, because you can't split the roles. And the problem I find with a lot of people is they'll start to prospect when they're new. They'll get their first couple customers. They'll move over to delivery and implementation. And then what happens is their sales pipeline dries up. They lose a couple customers, and all of a sudden they're in trouble. So we want to help you focus and stay on the sales end, where I think that's where you can be the most effective. And there's no shortcuts there. There's no like magic secret sauce, cold email trick that can just make clients magically pour in. It's consistent follow-up with leads. It's consistent prospecting. It's consistently being out there. And so how do we do that best? I think it's how do we take away the work of the fulfillment so you don't feel that struggle to keep jumping back and forth between fulfillment and sales.
Absolutely. For sure.
Sean, that's a really great point, and I think that's true for all businesses. I'm struggling with that right now in fulfillment because I don't have a team. My agency is new. As I mentioned, I came from real estate, but it is the same concept in real estate. So I'm trying to take the lessons that I learned there and do that with HighLevel. But I'm building out the agency snapshot funnel customized to myself, like you guys did in the tutorial that Chase did a great job on there. And I'm going to launch that really soon to stop that roller coaster from happening.
Yeah, I think that's critical. And I think that's the only way you can scale up as an agency. And we'll have a lot more on that as time goes on. We're also going to do something kind of fun and unique. We're going to be calling them rush packs. But, a lot of times what we notice, kind of like with the agency snapshots, all the agency snapshots do is take all the features that we have and bundle them in a way and present them in a way that's verticalized. But I never anticipated how useful that would be. And it's been incredibly successful because it just gives everybody a starting place, right? So likewise with the services, when we come out with those, we'll have all these different services, you know, PPC and SEO and content creation and social media marketing and posting. But we're going to also organize them around verticals. So we'll come out with vertical packs of services where if you serve a particular niche, we'll have a preset package you could sell to that vertical that really encapsulates all of the things that that type of business needs. So that way you don't have to guess, well, which ones do I put together and which ones do I sell? And then how to sell it, right? What's the best way to pitch this to that vertical? We'll also cover that as well.
One stickiness tip that I'll throw out there that I've been sharing with a lot of people as I have phone calls with everyone in the community is when you implement your version of HighLevel, your white level version of HighLevel for a client, even if you're including the cost of it in whatever you're charging them monthly, put a line item in the invoice for it and zero out. So, you know, our old agency, we called it Profit Engines. It was $199 a month, and we would put 100% discount, but it puts it in their head that the value of this software is $199, and it is its own separate line item. And what happens is when you lose a client, then you can say, hey, did you want to keep your platform going? And you'll be surprised at how many clients say, oh yeah, that would be great actually. So now they're going to retain them at $199 a month, even though, you know, they may have left you from some other services. So it's a great way to increase the stickiness of just the white labeled SaaS of HighLevel.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, and if you're not selling HighLevel as a platform, you really should be. It needs to be a secondary product offering. And a lot of times it gets you a price point that's way lower than your retainer. So you can even use it as a foot in the door. So I know that everybody does it a little bit differently, but remember, it's a product that if you go out and you start comparing and looking at feature sets and everything else, you're going to find that they're going to pay a lot more than the $297 a month you should be charging them for that product. You know, and you know, our goal is to continue to enhance that value proposition, and we will without increasing the software cost for you guys. But again, regardless, today it's got a ton of features in it that all these businesses need, right? They need email marketing, they need two-way text messaging, they need funnels, right? They need all these things, and it's a lot cheaper to get it through you than it is to go try to piecemeal it together from someplace else. So it's a product in its own right, and you should be making money off of it by selling it to your clients every month.
Definitely. One last question I see in the group from Facebook, Fair Patel, any way to block clients from messing with tags? So yes, in your agency level setting, if you go to agency team management and find that user, you could toggle off tags along with a bunch of other things if you don't want them to have access to.
Can they still add tags then? Or can they still see tags? What has happened when you
like they can
that away?
I think the whole idea is that they can see tags, but they can't modify the tags.
Right.
Right. So there's a tags menu item, and I think they
Right.
can't mess with the tags. They can't mess with the tag menu item.
Okay, so they can't add them, they can't modify them, they can't delete them.
They can add, I mean, they can add them to a contact or delete them from a contact, that kind of thing, but they can't add they can't technically add one to the system.
Oh, gotcha. Okay,
or delete one from the system or that kind of thing.
Oh, okay, beautiful.
All right, last question, Tracy, throw it out there.
Okay, hi guys. So thanks, I appreciate it. So I've got it's not a straightforward question, so I'll be as brief as possible. I've got a scenario. I'm working with a franchise, so they get leads through their call center, their own call center, and leads through the national number. Okay.
Okay.
And so when somebody calls, when they get a lead through their call center inputs the lead, sends them an email with the lead information. That's how they get the lead. Okay.
Okay.
But during that process, when the call center emails the lead, it's automatically emailed to the home office because they want the lead as well. Because they're the franchisor, right? So what happens is they turn around and send the lead back to the franchisee too. So the lead's getting this, the franchisee is getting this lead twice. So what I'm doing to get them into HighLevel is I'm using mailparser.io, taking that email that they're sent, and I'm, sucking that I'm parsing that, and then I'm via a Zap, I'm injecting that into HighLevel, sending it to a Google Sheet. Problem is, every time that lead comes in twice, my trigger keeps firing twice. So I've got a trigger set up to send a text and send an email and blah, blah, blah. And my campaign is set. The only thing in the campaign is to send a text back to the lead saying, hey, thanks, we'll reach out to you soon. If you need something urgently, let us know. That's all it's in the campaign. So that text keeps, so that lead keeps getting the text twice when it comes into the system twice. And I'm not sure how to freaking stop it.
Well, what I would do is
go for it.
I would do it based on ads. I would make an add to campaign trigger so that all your notifications will be triggered off the add to the campaign.
That's
right?
what I have. Yeah.
Okay. And then on the campaign, I would shut off add multiple.
I did.
And is it so then
Still
how is it
firing
being
twice.
figured? Is it being added to the campaign twice?
Some leads are, some leads aren't.
Yeah, it seems like you're creating a race condition, right? So you're basically, it's like two people running for a door that only fits one person.
Yeah.
There must not be enough of a delay. Is this happening like literally almost instantaneously back to back?
Yeah.
Well, that's going to be hard to stop. Let me think about this.
So exactly what you said. I've got my trigger set up to add campaign, and that creates some other stuff. That campaign that it's added to, it's only sending one text.
Well, wait. So the forwarding rule though, that forwards to mailparser.io.
Yeah.
Right. That just change that forwarding rule to only forward the one that comes from one of the addresses, but not from the other.
Yeah, but they want to get them from both because sometimes they don't cross over, but it's a weird scenario.
That seems like a terrible scenario.
Yeah,
that just seems like
it is terrible. But we have to work with what the home office is willing to do, and this is what they're not willing
the
to
home
do.
office doesn't send all the leads, but they send some of the leads.
Yeah, basically.
But did you already talk about, sorry, my internet froze for a second, creating a campaign before the campaign and just only allowing them to go, there's the toggle where, one user can't go through this multiple times?
Yeah, he has the allow multiple turned off on his campaign.
Yeah.
But there's a race condition. So the database needs like, a couple microseconds to actually write the data so it can check the data, right? So if you're literally putting something in on the same microsecond, no database in the world's that fast.
Yeah.
So, garbage in, garbage out, right? Like you have to get, the way they currently have this structured, like I get that they want the data or whatever, but somehow you're going to have to get the home office to stop sending dupe stuff.
Yeah, I know. It's just it's a stupid, really stupid scenario.
Yeah, that just seems like a bad setup. Like if they get it, they should either get it one way or not.
Yeah. What's so weird is if leads call the franchisee's call center, it sends over to the home office so they get the lead duped twice. If the lead comes into their national number, they only get it once. So it's because the home office is sending it again.
I was going to say maybe the home office could just not send the lead again.
Yeah.
That seems like a problem for everybody. That means every franchisee gets an email twice with the same lead in it.
It seems like it.
It just seems like it just seems like some IT guy at the franchise or office needs to stop that.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Yeah. That's the direction I would go because
I know
it's hard to fight against. It's hard to fight against somebody who's like essentially like really trying hard to hurt you.
Make it difficult. Yeah, exactly.
Right?
I don't. One of the workarounds that I came up with was like adding a manual step where when the lead comes in, don't run it through the system now.
What you could do is you could send it to Zapier. You could have Zapier zap it into a Google Sheet, right? Do like a check on the Google Sheet or something like that. Yeah. And then, like you got to create you can dedupe stuff like that. And then you could, that's like the way I would roll, right? Like I would try to like use Google Sheets as a middle ground to do the dedupe and see if I could get it to, do it.
Right. Right.
I wonder if you could get, and if like you create the same race condition in Zapier doing that, then what you'd love, like if you could just create like a timer that would be random, like if you could randomize the timer, all you need to do is get one to fire before the other and you'd be fine.
Yeah.
And in fact, if you could do that with the randomized timer, you could just do an add to campaign zap, and then our deduplication would work.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking along the same lines as if I can, get rid of the dupes in Google Sheet and then just Google Sheet them into HighLevel. But I have to look into that, I guess. But I was thinking that was one option. If I can automate that, great. Would have Google Sheets eliminate the dupe. Or another option was doing a manual form entry after the leads come in, which is kind of stupid.
Well, you should check out what Sean just suggested, because I think with Zapier paths and a wait step on one of the paths, you could change the timing between the two, and then our campaign setting of not allowing multiple in the campaign would catch.
Okay. Okay. Do you know like how many seconds needs to be?
Oh, just 1 second would be fine.
1 second. Okay.
The problem is you can't have like two things come in, two things delay for 1 second, and then both race again, right?
Yeah.
You need to like delay, like think about it, lane A and lane B. You need lane A or lane B. It doesn't matter. One of them just need, it's like, when you get on the freeway and they've got the stop signs, right? Like lane A goes first, then lane B, right? You got to get one lane to go first, at least by a couple microseconds.
Right. Exactly. Okay. Cool. I'll look into it. Thanks, man.
But I'm sure Zapier, I guarantee you somebody has a crazy Zap like that.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Thank you.
Well, anything else before we let everybody go? All right. Well, I guess that's it. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks,
Have
everyone.
a good afternoon.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys.
Ty, I would open up a support ticket on that one. It sounds like it might be a bug. So just shoot an email to support@gohighlevel.com. All right. That's it for this week. We'll see you guys next week, same time. If you have any other questions we didn't get to, just hop into Slack or shoot us an email. And we'll see you next week.
Thanks, Face.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.